these, so I just let you know we always record these. Of course, my mouse decides doesn't want to work. I'm also recording on here, so I have it recorded at 2 different ways in case there's a problem. All right, great. Now, just a little quick look at what we did this weekend with some of the high school kids, but you'll also get a chance to see. We used the laser cutter right there. It's a little flipped up to make puzzles, but I'm glad you're all here. We have lab this Thursday for the middle school, and we have lab Saturday for 7th and 8th grade. One of the things we're going to do this year is we are going to be using some new woodworking tools as well. So you're going to have the ability to take a piece of a tree, you can see right there, make it into branches to get to this point. In other words, you're going to actually see how you take a log and you make it into a piece of lumber and get to do some of that. And we have a gentleman helping us who does a really great job in this area. I'm really excited for y'all to see that. So we had that going on. And so here they are, using a joiner and a planer, how to safely do it. Table saw is made such a way it won't hurt your fingers, but you all get a chance to see and do this. Because I think it's really important when you work, you understand where lumber comes from. It comes from a tree, and you got to cut it into pieces in case you've ever wondered. All right? So it's all excited. We'll have we'll make it very safe and quite enjoyable. I'm going to pull one other picture over here. Also, we were using the laser cutter a little bit. You're going to go back. We'll re-review laser cutters. Okay? So for some of you use laser cutter, but we're going to go back through that again and really pick up your skills. All right. Now, today we are going to, last week we did an introduction. We got into the class and what it was going to be like. And we're going to go ahead and move forward right today now. And it's going to be HTML basics, which some of you know, and some of you have. We're going to get in a Google site. I realize some of you have done that, but some of you haven't done that in a while, and others have never done it. And the reason we want to build our own site and record what we're doing is when you apply to engineering schools now, they're looking for a digital portfolio. This is really important. They're looking for a digital portfolio. Okay? So you want to be able to show them what you did and what's going on. Okay, I'm just looking at radical, the cool milling. I'm good. HTML5, yep, that's HTML5. We're also going to explain a little bit what the internet is and isn't. So we go through that. So what is HTML? Preparing your editor and web host, your very first basic web page. Now, let's talk about some things here. What is HTML? How does it work? Preparing your editor and web host, your very first public web page. So, we're going to be doing that as well. So, let's go through this. HTML stands for Hypertext Markup Language. First appeared on the internet in 1991. By the way, it was someone from the Netherlands, his name escapes me right at the moment, who came up with HTML language. He was doing it on the side at work. He asked to work on this at work. They said, that doesn't sound all that important. If you want to do it in your own lunchtime, fine, but you can't fall behind on your other work. He developed basically HTML, which became websites we use today. He didn't make a single dime on this, which is kind of amazing because he would be some ways without HTML, the internet was really hard. All right, so we just had Wednesday 6. We haven't even gotten 5 done yet, so it's going to be a little while. Has gone several versions. HTML is the newest version. All right, 4 is still the most popular, but 6 is 5 is coming. 6 will be planned down the day. I think they're going to wait for more technology to catch up on that. All right, let's talk about what happens. You're going to take your HTML document you're going to create. You upload it to a server. That's why you hear these big server farms, and we've got one in North Carolina. Use a ton of energy. So that's with the server farms now. They want to put them in areas they can put solar. And we can be very proud here in North Carolina. We are second in the country with solar and wind energy. So that file is served on a server. Your browser looks at that file so you can read it. Right? So when say we got old logos, probably true. All right. So HTTP, and you have HTTPS was secured, stands for Hypertext Transfer Protocol, the basis for the internet and client-server interaction. How you and your computer and YouTube talk. Bottom line. Okay? Okay, giving a hard kid a hard time on the laptop. Okay, man. All right. Server stores all web information as raw HTML file, like the one you'll be creating, as well as any media, pictures, video, etc. They don't translate any of the information on the ATHM file. The servers don't do that. Simply store it. Your browser does that. Browsers take that raw HTML file from the server that you're visiting and translate it into something nice and viewable in real time. The way that browsers do this and their coding is often why you find that some browsers are faster than others. And sometimes one will be faster at certain things, pages, than others, but slower than other pages. Okay? So that's why, but honestly, we use Chrome. We don't really ever use Safari, sometimes Firefox. Now, professional web editors, hey, you can use, if you're getting into this, you're going to use something like Adobe Dreamweaver to the right, you know? Bunch of tools, let you try a bunch of different things. I would suggest out there's something called brackets. If you need a lot of tools, that's inexpensive. That I've used, that's real impressive. But for here, you just use these text editors. Notepad or TextEdit, Mac OS. Okay? And that's what we're going to do as we try out things tonight. All right. Why is this? Well, simply put, HTML at its base is entirely plain text and not translated until the very last moment. When you visit the web page, you have a compile for HTML built into your computer. Therefore, you don't really need any fancy tools. So really, this text works fine. You don't need to go out and spend any money on a big text editor. Now, you may say to yourself, I'm not making a web page. Yeah, but you're probably using a web page somewhere with your business. And if you know some HTML, at least you can look at the code later and maybe fix something. All right, now this is going to be, let's go over internet safety before we get here. You're going to do your e-portfolio, demonstrating what we're learning, showing off the work and projects, show other people how awesome you are. All right? We're going to get the Google site, and that's the goal of this, but we'll get into some HTML first. But what I want you to know is it's really easy to get started. Single page creation, customizable look and feel, got brief pre-built templates, all those things, it's free. But in terms of safety, for this class, don't share any information about your family, relatives, or friends. Don't share your full name, address, phone numbers, the location of your house to anyone on the internet. All right, folks? That's something if someone needs that information, i.e. you're buying something, you're doing that with your folks, right? Do tell about your Google site and make your site private so we can give link access to show your folks what you're making, but let's keep this private. And then you can share the links to the colleges when you're ready to go. Remember this, anything on the web can be seen by someone. It never truly goes away. If you think about it, Remember we said the pictures and videos are loaded up? I'm going to go back here to kind of jump us off target, but I'm going to make this point. We just said again, you have that server farm, right? Right here's the server farm, bunch of files. You load a picture up there, maybe something you're doing one night with your friends that you're not really particularly proud of. It's still there. It's not going away. So folks, use some sense. Don't post things on the internet that you wouldn't want to show your grandmother. Especially if you're thinking of doing cybersecurity and things down the road. But people do look on job interviews. All right? I am a teacher. If I post something up there that's real controversial, I can be asked to not be a teacher anymore. I want to keep my job, so I'm not going to post it up there. Right? All right. Now, so we got that. Now, that's Google site. We're going to come back to that in a little bit. We kind of done this different ways in the past. I want to jump tonight. I want to do it different. Let's go run through this. We'll come back to it in a minute. What we will do is I do want you to know that we would like to do it in Google Sites. So you're going to need to create some kind of Gmail account if you don't already have one. Talk to your folks about it. So that's what we'll set with. Okay, and it can be a throwaway Gmail account, but just a Gmail account to show you how to use Google Site. All right, now, let's talk about this. HTML is a basic structure of it. HTML basic, yeah. HTML structure with discrete keywords. So you'll see a bracket, HTML bracket, then bracket / HTML. This is how we start this. But before I go any further, because I'm going pretty quick here, I'll slow down a little bit. Do we have any questions? If you got a question, raise your hand. Does everybody understand what HTML? It's the code that we use to write so we can show things on the internet. HTTP is a transfer protocol. Your files are served on a server farm, and your browser can read those files. How do we create those files as an HTML? We don't need a special software. All right? Any other questions? All right, I'm going to show you how to use a text editor in a minute. We're going to actually make some HTML code. You're going to look at it in your browser. You're going to need to do this on your desktop, but your computer will work for this. So if you have, they're generally paired. Sometimes they're unpaired. Like when you comment something out, they don't look identical. But most of the time they look like HTML / HTML or B, bracket B bracket bracket / B bracket. So you should, as you're doing this, look for these paired tags. There's a few unpaired, but they're generally paired. Okay, so now we're going to go into our text editor. It's not going to do a whole lot, but we're going to type this all in here. But let's go in there on our text editor. So if on Windows, Notepad works just fine. On a Mac, you got to use the editor. So I'm going to bring this up, and I'm going to give everybody a chance to get to this. So where is my editor? On a text. I gotta be careful because I have some. If you're going to really do HTML, you're going to need. There's brackets out there. It's really good, but we don't need that for this class. All right, so I'm text editing it right now. New. There it is. Here's my text editor. It looks like this on a Mac. It can't look like this. You need to go to Format, Make Plain Text. So I can get everybody to, if they're on a Windows machine, I guess it's Notepad. If you're on a Mac, it's Text Edit. But everybody bring that up, raise your hand once you've done that. I got most of us haven't done it, so we're going to wait here for a few moments. While the deals are raising up, just let you know, I was handing out the Raspberry Pis, the little Raspberry Pi computers. We handed those out on Thursday and Saturday. We'll hand out the other ones next Thursday, this Thursday and Saturday. Let me see how many people we got here. All right, Cadman, let's bring that up. Luke, it's really important you bring these up, guys. Let me see if there's any questions while we're doing this. Cool, cool. I have 2. Good, I'm glad. You'll have 3 now. I made multiple websites. Well, Liam, good job. This may be a little bit slow then for you, but we got to get everybody else up to speed. Hope you can appreciate that. Cadman right over here, we're just doing things. All right. Again, this kind of stuff, if you are an HTML and real software guru, you may have already done this, but let me get everybody else right now. All right. If you want, Liam, look up brackets. See if what you think of that tool. All right, now. All right, so we have this right here. You're going to go in this. What I want you to type is this. Let me see. What's index? Okay. So please, the code to the right of it. What I want you to write in there is parentheses, exclamation point, doc type, space. That was all in uppercase. HTML. Notice there's HTML, then HTML, head, body, / body. That's just was the pointer when we made the slide. And then / HTML. See how that's bracketed here and here. Head and head, body and body. And remember, it's just another bracket right there. There's not, that line's not supposed to be there. I'm putting everybody's hands down. Let me know it. Let me know it when you've done this. Now I'm going to show you how we're going to save it. All right, so Jasper's saying he's got his typed in. Let's get everybody else. All right, we got more people about done here. All right, we get some more here. We get over half. We'll get going on the next part. And if you find that this is working out pretty well for you, or you really like making web pages down the road, I can give you some suggestions from good places to learn how to do this even more. And obviously, if a big group of you would like to learn more about it, we can incorporate it in part of the class. That's the nice thing about a small class. We can do what people want. Liam uses Atom. I've not used Atom, Lee, so it might be a great one. Leave all your hands there. We gotta let everybody else catch up here a little bit. I'm really glad you're all doing it. I hope the weather isn't too bad where you are. It's got pretty nasty here recently. All right. Okay. How many people are in the class? I believe we're at just at 13 or so. We might be. We try to not let it get much. Well, it's 14 if considering Saturdays. All right. We keep our class sizes pretty small when you figure it meets 2 different nights. All right. So now, here's what I want you to do. Hopefully, we got Luke who get down this. We'll go save that. So you've typed this. You're going to go File, Save As, and here's the new thing. You're going to save it as index.html. You're going to save it on your desktop. In this case, it's a PC, so it says it right up there. So save it as index.html. And so, here. All right. If you click on it, just click on index. It's not going to do much. But you'll know you want to see it though it looks like index in your browser window come up, okay? I'm putting everybody's hands down. Let me know that you had that. Now I'll go back and I'm going to type some of this in myself too so we can show it to you. Okay? All right. So let me get my little text editor up here so I can bring that back up. So let's go through this. So you can see a little bit better. I'm going to go ahead and make my font bigger. Font bigger. Sorry, this isn't going to be real big, so I'm going to put it down right over here, just for the sake of. All right, so when I have doc type here, all right, doc type HTML slash, then I'm saying HTML here. All right, what's this doing? Doc type right here says is a tag. It tells the browser parse your file as HTML5. In other words, it's telling your browser to say, hey, this is a HTML document. Open me up like a red browser font. This is one of the few that are unpaired. Then you have HTML and then HTML down there. All the HTML code has to be inside this tag. So this notifies, doc type notifies it's a browser, but it's all inside that. So I did HTML there. I'm going to do slash HTML slash. Let's see if I can get this stuff. I'm making it bigger here right now for you all to see. All right. Then this is the head. You're going to get to this. Most of the work we do in the body, but we're going to have the head and then slash head, which we just said that, all right? Now, here's what's going to happen. The head denotes information about the document. So what's across? So we can put, like CAD, you could put my page, right? In fact, my imaginative page, but you can give it whatever you want. We're going to go TED, title in a moment and come back to that, but we'll come back. Let me just explain. So this tells you when you've got a browser up, like if you look up right here, you see this link up here? It says HTML lesson, introduction to HTML. That's what we're talking about when we put a title in the head. It's things from the tabs when you got your browser open. Open that makes a little more sense. Okay? And then the body is where you would think of when you think of the internet. All the stuff you're looking for. It says I can't save this PC. I'm not sure why you wouldn't be able to save it unless you gave it a funny name, Aiden. Or you're not logged in, or quite what you're doing with that. You wouldn't get that. Maybe ask a parental unit to help you out. Well, you can't save it to there. Because it just seems very strange. Somebody else has a suggestion. I would like to hear it. All right. Now, here's what I want you to type. Under and between the head and slash head title, give it some kind of name. I've got it, my imaginative page name. You can give it something else. So I'm going to go to my text. We'll have to. If we can't figure out how to say it, tell them try and save in another directory. Absolutely. All right, try, make sure you're saving on the desktop. Thanks, Liam. All right, so head, I'm going to make a title right here. Parenthesis title. I'm going to say Mr. D page. And then I'm going to bracket it off here. Title. Bracket. All right. File. I'm going to do a save as right now. Wait a second. Let me get into. My browser software is doing that. Then I'm going to go here. Go to the file. Save it. Text edit. I'm going to say index HTML, as I explained to you all. And we're going to save this where? On the desktop. Save. And I'm going to use HTML. See, I wanted to make an X text. Let's go pull down. Oh, we don't need X7. All right, so there's index. And see, there's Mr. D's page. See what I'm talking about right when you tab? Everybody do that. Give it a name and make sure you get this tab. Raise your hand once you have that working. So there's the tab from that index HTML page. Index was from the very start when you're using the internet. They used to have a lot of index or file directories, and that's why the home one is index.html. Raise your hand once you have it up there, guys. All right, excellent. Come on, Aiden and Ashlyn and Jack and Jada. Or Luke. Griffin. Please get that all up there. I'm hopefully that's in the root directory. Okay. While we do this, got a poll question I'm going to ask. It's good practice using it. I'm going to launch this poll question while we're waiting. Did you come to the last webinar? Please fill it out. Once it gets past 80, we end it, but let's go ahead and fill it out. Just look up, there's a blue question. Go ahead, click on it. Did you come last time or not? All right, we got 8% voted. 80% said yes, 100%. I'm going to close poll. Anybody else? 3, 2, 1. Share results. We try to share them. There you go. Okay, hide results now. One other poll. How's my pacing? That way, we'll have some others at the end, but this way I know how we're doing on this. Interesting. We're at 67%. Let's keep voting. All right. At 83, 3, 2, 1. Closing the poll. Share results. 92% in. You said my pacing's good. Some said too fast. Some said too slow. That's not unusual. Ask questions if I'm going too slow, guys, or too fast. All right. We'd like to thank you. I'll try to. It's always that fine line. You know, we got everybody there. All right. Then, so this is what when you did your page, anything you put, note about tags, anything you want to apply to a tag, you put in between the tags. Also notice it was head up here, head here, and then title, then slash title. It wasn't head, title. So it's always works inside out. They're nested, right? That's what I mean. Last tag to be opened is the first tag to be closed. Title was the last one to be opened. It's first closed, then head, then head. All right. Body is where everything is located. We're not going to use this. Let's look at some of the most common ones. And this will also explain when you use Google Site and different things. We make Google Site later. That how it heads. You don't really change the size of text like you do on a word processor with font size, because the underline is HTML. So let's go ahead and try this. The first tag is a header tag, not to be confused with the head tag. This adds specially sized to your web page automatically in bold. So it's H from H1 to H6. So let's go back to our index page. That's what it looked like here, right? So I'm going to go back to my text editor, wherever that is. We're going to bring it up inside. So there's head. Then we have body. Now I always like closing it and then inserting it later myself. All right. So you can have H1, parentheses, biggest. I don't know what that was. All right. Bracket H1. And you can do H6. Bracket smallest. File, save it. That's where like something like brackets, you immediately see that thing change. There it is. Biggest and smallest. Can I get everybody to try that? So your text page, when it comes up, still says Mr. D at the top. There's biggest, there's smallest. My HTML file won't save. That's the same person who said that. Are you saving it to the desktop? Are you adding multiple decimal? Make sure you only have index.html. Ms. Griffin, is it? How are you saving it? What kind of file name are you using? Everybody else, go ahead and work on that. I'm going to pull up text editor again. All right. And I'm just going to put some space so it's a little easier to read. Doesn't read white space. For something like Python might, but this does not. That's another language. All right. Are you saving this when you're in the text editor or your notepad? Are you saving it? File, let me see, save. Hold on. This is the thing about Macs have really gotten annoying to me because they're doing everything like an iPad now. I wish I had never gotten rid of save as, but it'll be .html index.html. Did you do that, Reese? And I may be mispronouncing that name. I apologize. If you save it in your window that's not open, it's not changing, then refresh the page. Thank you, Aiden. Also, sometimes, so make sure if you save it on your window that is open and it's not changing. So what he's talking about is Mr. D page right here. Go ahead, if you don't see it the first time, refresh it to see it. Press return. That's what I like. I get to work with some really bright students. You guys are on the ball. All right. Can you raise your hand if you got biggest and smallest working? I did the same. This is what it says when I try to save it. And are you on a Mac or a PC? I'm looking to see who's got Mac. All right, sometimes make sure, delete the old index HTML file that's on your desktop and then try to save it then. That's what we were getting into, is the weirdest thing. Right here is your index HTML file. You know, you might have another one on there. You might have created two, and if you get a two, it doesn't like you doing. All right. It's on an Edmodo, the HTML. Kevin, what do you mean? I'm not sure I'm following you on that, bud. All right. So, Ms. Griffin, I'm willing to bet you have another index file. Make sure you're doing this on the desktop, and that's why it's not saving. We have had that problem on Macs. All right, so I'm going to go ahead, and if you don't understand, when we end here in a little bit, I will show you, but you just really got to get rid of you've got another index file. Oh, he copied it over, so he put it over there for you on there as well. Thank you very much, Kevin. All right, now, so here's the different size headings. Next thing, to break things up, we use paragraphs. As you can see here, the body, parentheses, paragraph. This is a paragraph. /P, P, and this is a paragraph, body. So you get these two right here. So let's go back to our... So I might do this. So that way I know everything will fit in there without a heading. So that's kind of got a heading in it. But so let's try this. If I did something like this, well, I really should learn how to spell better, huh? All right. There we go. This is paragraph 1. And then you can do something like this. I'll show you the difference in this in a moment. This is paragraph. Let's work on our grammar here, Mr. D. Paragraph 2. All right, let's see what it looks like. So you're going to get screenshots something like this. It's not a heading, it's not in bold. This is paragraph 1, this is paragraph 2. Try that, everyone. And well, wait a minute. Before you try that, let me just show you real compare. Yeah, go ahead and try that. We'll go in the bold and these other things here now. Okay? Go ahead and try that paragraph 1 as well. I'm not in Edmodo right now, Cayman, so I can't just min it. But we'll have everybody there, and I will open up Wednesday with what you've got. Okay, man? Because we only have like 6 more, 10 more minutes. Okay? Thank you very much for posting it there. Now, raise your hand once you've done the paragraph ones, please. So that way we don't wait on, we're trying. I don't like going forward until we know we have a bunch of people who've gotten to that point. All right. Great. Let's go on to the next one, everybody. We can then keep doing these where we can do bold and not surprisingly, italics. So, watch this. Let's bring up our text editor. So, this is paragraph 1. Let me add some more text. So, I could do something like be bold. This is bold /B. This is italics. Now to do that, I'm just got to do this. Not surprisingly, do I. All right. File, save. So get this up here. This is paragraph 1. This is bold. This is italics. This is paragraph 2. I bet you know what underline is. Smallest, biggest as each page comes up every time. All right. There's underline. And there's S for strike through. So you got italics, underline, strike through. By the way, strike throughs are good than deleting text altogether. Get in the habit of doing that. So that way when you're editing work, especially on programming things, you know you remove something or you change something. If you just change it, we don't know what the old stuff was. So sometimes strike throughs are really useful for that way. And you can combine them. So you can do bold italics and you're going to get bold italics. Remember, last open, first close. So in this case, last open is I. It's the first close. Remember, we got to keep that nested rule. Now, sometimes you don't really want a paragraph. You just do a break. It's one of your unpaired ones. So that just does a line break. It's not, all right? Use this or addresses when you want the text block to be a certain size and you have no means. Okay? It just takes you down to the next line. There's no space like you have with a paragraph tag. And it's not automatically indented. So let me show you what I'm talking about right here. So in paragraph 1, you see how it came off. Now we're going to go down here and do another one. All right, so this is, so let's just say, this is paragraph 3. All right, break. The next line, this is the next line. There is no slash break, by the way. Then we do slash paragraph, so you see what this looks like. File, save. All right, somewhere I just blew it on the break. Hang on one second. Look at BR. Oh my goodness gracious. Did I do what I think I just did? Yes, you did. I know what I did wrong. Sorry, guys. And then I said it was like break. Come on, Tom. File. Save. Okay. This is the next line. Notice when we went from paragraph to paragraph, it always inserted a space. It doesn't do that with a break like that. See the difference in the way that looks? Pull it over here. All right. All right, we got time. I don't get the words to. I didn't get the word. I can get the words to come up, but they're not bold. You can get them to come up, but not bold. Let's go back and look what I wrote my code-wise here. Let's get that set. Great questions. Not. If you have bracket, B bracket, this is bold bracket. Make sure you're not putting them in between headings because all the headings are bold. So if you have H6, little bold, B for bold and slash B, then heading 6, it's already bold, so it won't come up that way. All right, you got it. Good. We're only going to spend, 2 days or so on this because we got a lot to cover next. Your Raspberry Pis are going to be coming in next week. We're going to get them out and start setting those up and doing things with them. But let's go here. And we need a day for Google Sites. So we got a couple things we got to get done. All right, now. You can see as I keep popping them out there. We'll get into the last thing I'm going to show you real quick, and then we're going to do a poll, is we'll start off, I should say, with lists. And these are this is body UL, and what that is an unordered list. So you get 1, 2, 3. And then you got like this list break in between one. List item. So there's list item / so these are all the lists on the items. And then the next thing you can do is make them ordered. Do it OL, that was unordered, this is ordered list, and you get numbers. But you have to put LI after each one of these. We'll go through this and have a little quiz on this when we come back Wednesday. Tom DeToy will be setting up with you and working with you on that day. Tom is very knowledgeable and he can really help. You can really help pick his brain. Let me do a couple last things here. All right. You guys haven't had a lab, so this is it. All right, go ahead and tell me what you thought of this webinar today. Okay. I got some people saying, all right, let me see. It was great. It was okay. It was poor. We had 75% vote. Let's go ahead and vote out the rest of it. All right. Well, I hope to do better. All right, here we go. I'm going to close the poll now at 83%. Share your results. We had 50% said it was great. 30% said it was okay. 20% said it was poor. Those people that said they thought it was poor, let me know why you thought it was poor. Okay? That'd be very helpful for me so I can do a better job for you. Or was it simply poor because you already knew this stuff, so you didn't like to care for the webinar? So that's real helpful for me. If you'd write that to me here, I'd really appreciate it. But I can only do things better with feedback. So I appreciate the feedback, actually. So I'm going to hide that results. All right. So, any other questions before we set out? It's almost 7:55. We're going to stop at 7:55 most nights. I'm going to try really hard not to run late. Again, we have a lab. You either have it Thursday or you have it Saturdays. 4 of you are Saturday. The rest of you are on Thursday. Any other questions there? All right. With that in mind, I'm going to go ahead and stop the webinar then, folks. Okay? So you all have a great day, and we'll see you Wednesday. Take care, all.